Hello, this is another video in the series we've been working on as part of my new website, christinenixon.com.au. I wanted to particularly talk in this instance about women in leadership, about women looking and thinking about achieving senior positions in organisations. I've recently been involved in some training for some women, and I also wrote a blog a little while ago about the same issue. But I wanted to talk a bit about it today. The key kind of issue when we're thinking about women in leadership, women aren't achieving the kind of levels, aren't there in the numbers that any of us had ever hoped. And I was asked about this by some senior executives recently. And I think there's three pieces to this puzzle that we need to really work on. And you can't have one without the other. Sheryl Sandberg a while ago wrote kind of about one aspect of it, got really severely criticised. But within her book, she did say some aspects of the others as well. So let me talk about this. I think there's three issues that we need to deal with about why women aren't holding senior leadership positions. I think the first one is about the systems, about the kind of idea that we have meritocracy in our workplaces. We know we don't. If we did, then we'd be seeing 50% of men and 50% of women holding senior positions, but they're not. And so the point, I think, is about all of us who have a capacity, either we participate in these systems or we manage these systems, to think about the systems that we choose when we're actually putting someone in place. Are they fair? Are they open? I got a number of my positions because there were open panels with people from the community, people from universities, community members who were able to judge my performance and perhaps judged it differently to the way people perform within the police would have done. So think about the systems, think about the mentoring arrangements that are in place for people, for women, to encourage them. Have a look at what kind of process. I remember one organisation had a particular kind of requirement that you had to have these certain behaviours, which are entirely irrelevant to the job, but it made sure the women weren't able to get there. Within Victoria Police, we used to have a wall, and the wall was about 7 foot high and very difficult for women to get over. No real reason to have that wall, and in my time we got rid of it. So what are the kind of systems flaws? You also think about things like maternity leave. You know, women have babies and they need to be supported, and men want to support their partners when they have children as well. So think about the systems. There's another bit, and I think the next bit is about dads and about brothers and about husbands, and it's about them stepping up as well. People say, oh, well, it's about the women to look after themselves. It's not. Many of you have daughters and mothers and sisters and wives who at some point will be discriminated against. They will be damaged by someone else just looking a lot like some of the men I know. And so you need to think about how to support those women. You know, job comes up, why don't you give Christine a go, you could say. Sponsoring someone. Let's give it a really good opportunity to kind of think through, you know, what kind of things are available where we could, in fact, stand up and let women. You're on a board? Absolutely say, this board has to have 2 or 3 more women on it. When the next vacancy comes up, we need to be looking for women to be part of it. I sit on a council, and that council has absolute policy to make sure that it has a significant representation of women. We're looking for a senior person to be part of it in the future, and we're looking for women, people from minority backgrounds. So think about that particular piece of the system. If you were male, that, you know, how would you like something to harm your daughter? This wonderful young woman that you supported, encouraged and paid the fees, and she gets to be about 30 and she wants to have babies, your grandchildren, and someone will get in her way and stop her. My dad's a really interesting example. You know, he was great support to me, wasn't initially, but eventually he thought I was going to get done over. And the final piece is really about the women themselves need to think about their own willingness to put themselves forward. If you apply for a job and don't get it, it doesn't matter. Learn what happened, figure it out, but at least put yourself forward so you're in the running for the job. Step up, take a job that might be a lateral job but gets you more experience. Have some confidence in yourself, overcome your fears. The worst that can happen, you know, is you didn't get it. But you need to be starting to lean in, as Sheryl Sandberg talks about. Another line she talks about is don't leave before you leave. If you're going to have a baby, don't start thinking about it 2 or 3 years before you have one. I don't want to take that opportunity. No, I couldn't go overseas in that kind of study tour. Think about your own experiences and how you can put them forward. Keep your own scorecard. CVs are fine, but a scorecard, this is what I've done, because that kind of Experience then says, this is the reason I can be doing this job. And if you get the job and someone doesn't like you, it doesn't matter. You got the job. You're the one in charge. Think about, so the real sort of summary, I guess, of what I'm saying is there are 3 bits. They're about the women themselves, and they're not at fault, but they are having to think about lean in, step up, take a seat at the table. You're also the men. You know, if you've got a daughter or a wife, you don't want to see her harmed or damaged, or a sister. You need to be supporting women to be able to achieve. Our communities would be so much better off. And the systems that underpin decision making about who gets what job, they need to be fair and decent and open. Good luck.